Hi there guys, it's Pip here. So I'm coming to you from a relative's house today. So as you may have kept up with me, I'm starting a new job. I'm starting tomorrow. I'm going to be a living carer, so living in people's homes and looking after them, and it's going to be very extraordinary. I used to be a carer several years ago for a lady until she passed away. I did that for a number of years, and it wasn't easy. Bless her, this lady that I looked after did have a sort of degenerative illness, which was not very kind on her always, and is quite prevalent in old age. And I don't want to talk too much or give too much away about her life, because that is still her life, and I feel it's important to protect that and protect that for her family as well. But I did try and give her the best quality of life. But as those who are out there caring know, it's a tough job, whether it's looking after children or a parent or in a formal capacity. It's hard, or even just looking after your friends sometimes can be really a big challenge as you go forward. I'm quite lucky. I have in particular two friends at the moment who are really taking the time to get in contact with me, because I'm going through quite a rough time, and it's not easy for them because they are going through quite a lot themselves, but we're trying to support each other. So it's not an easy job, but I am moving on, and that's why I'm coming to you from here today. So my message today is really, I want to talk to you a little bit about fear, because this is something I'm experiencing at the moment, and I don't have the answer to this, but I do want to just address it. So I wrote to my mentor, well, I emailed him and said, I'm shutting down all my businesses because I've been pulled in all directions and I'm not committing to them, and I don't know what I need or what I want, and I need to start my new job, and I need to stop focusing on a million and one things and just do one thing. My mentor wrote back and he said, that's great. Are you sure that you don't want to carry on with your business for the moment, because you've made some good progress? And I kind of said, I don't know why I'm doing it anymore, which I don't. I used to know why. But my why has changed, because initially I was doing it for family, close family, and now it seems that they're able to be a bit more independent and solve the problems that I wanted to solve with my business. There is a monthly subscription fee for my business, so they are worried that I'm going to spend a lot of money and get nowhere, which is, kind of my fear as well. So my mentor sent me a video by Eckhart Tolle. Now, if you've never heard of Eckhart Tolle, he does have a wonderful book. Actually, I believe I have it with me. It's just here. It's called The Power of Now. So, Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. I hope you can see that. There we go. So, Eckhart Tolle, basically what happened to him, I'll just tell you a bit about his story. So, he got to a point in his life where he said, I cannot live with myself anymore. He was lying in his bed, and he was so kind of repulsed and distressed by how kind of empty his life had become and how unfulfilling his life had become. He just went, I cannot live with myself. And he was then struck by this funny thought, and it was like, well, how strange to say you can't live with yourself, because you're always going to live with yourself. So he then had this very, very unusual experience, which he can only describe as kind of being sucked into a vortex. And when he woke up the next day, he said it was like he'd just been born. Everything was new and fresh, and it was like he was seeing everything for the first time. And he spent basically the next few years just in this kind of state of awe, in this kind of very, very enlightened space, I guess, mindset. I'm not sure what you call it, presence. And he's easy to find on YouTube. It's Eckhart. His surname is Tolle, Tolle. And he talks a lot about this thing about being present. And the reason I was sent to this video by my mentor is because he talks about how the mind has this wonderful way of using the present moment as a means to an end. So Eckhart Tolle in this video was talking about how when you wake up, and you're getting ready for the day, you do that every single day. Most of us kind of get up and, hopefully you get dressed and you don't go out bare naked, and you brush your teeth and you have your breakfast and all that kind of thing. If you don't eat breakfast, by the way, you need to. It's look it up. It's good for your metabolism. Eating breakfast actually can stop you putting on weight. You need to research that. So he was talking about what is the quality of these moments when you're doing something, and what happens is the mind kind of goes, oh well, when I get this moment done, I'll be in a better moment, or I'll be where I really want to be. And I was kind of thinking about this, and I can't really make kind of any one conclusion at the moment, but here's kind of what I think. I think Eckhart Tolle is right, and that it's something that we all do. We kind of spend our present moment wishing we were somewhere else, and just not giving it our full attention, so actually miss large chunks of our lives. He was actually talking even further. He was talking about how some people spend whole chunks of their lives trying to use it as a waiting point to get to the next point, when I get a new job, then I can start living properly, or when I find that person that's going to make me happy, then my life can begin. And it tricks us into this kind of game of waiting for something that might never arrive, because we're always waiting for it to happen otherwise, rather than kind of going out and making it happen. So it was a very interesting video, and I just wanted to share that with you, and I'll put a link to it as well. And I just want to know your thoughts really on that, because I was thinking about this and I was going, okay, so my SFM business journey goal should not be to get to the end goal. It should be the individual steps of the journey. It should be the whole of the race, not just the finish line. And I was like, okay, because most of my life is like that. It's when I've done everything I need to do and I've struggled and fought, then I can sit down. That's generally how my mind thinks, and I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get to just sit down and relax, because that's what I actually want to do in my life. And I'm not saying that's wrong, and I'm not saying that's not a real desire, because people do value success differently. Tony Robbins talks a lot about this. But I would just be interested to know your thoughts. So that's my video for today. And if you want to look at more of Eckhart Tolle's things, I would. I actually, I got his book on eBay. It was some ridiculous price, $2.99. It's really interesting read. Actually talks about a lot about relationships actually, and why we go through kind of the illusion of pain that we go through. We create our own pain in our minds. It's not saying that the things that happen to us aren't real. It's about how we interpret that creates this pain, and so we need to be careful about what we do when we interpret events, and first of all gain the awareness that we can control our minds, and then actually go about making it happen. And that's not an awareness that a lot of people have. A lot of people are completely 100% controlled by their minds. Their minds just control them and make them do some weird things, make people smoke, make people become obese, where they're damaging their body long term, irreversible damage, and shortening their life, and the mind is creating depression, and the mind is telling people to do weird things like drink excessively, to poison their body and stunt their mental ability and awareness. The mind tells us to do a lot of very strange things, actually, that if we had more awareness, we would maybe be able to control better. So that's all from me, and do leave me a comment because I would be interested to know your thoughts. And that's all from now. Bye now.